Welcome back to HomeoNexus. You are watching Nexus of Materia Medica. Today we are analyzing the portrait of Spongia Tosta or roasted sponge. Literally, this remedy is made up from roasting sponges. This remedy is the cornerstone for respiratory and glandular conditions, defined by specific triad: absolute dryness, suffocation, and glandular induration. Let's explore why this is known as the dry remedy. To understand spongia, remember its core triad: dryness of the mucous membranes throughout the air passages. There is dryness, there is suffocation, often described as the sensation of breathing through a sponge. Induration, or the physical hardening of glands. Constitutionally, it is best suited for fair-skinned, fair-complexioned women and children with lax fiber. Now in case of spongia, there is zero moisture. It is state of absolute dryness, where you will find no mucous rails. The cough is characteristically barking, rasping, and as clinical notes describe, dry as horn. Now the most famous clinical sign is the sound. It is often described as like a saw driven through a pine board. You will notice it gets much worse from talking, singing, even walking, swallowing, any kind of motion, or even just lying with the head low. Timing is very critical in the croup cases. While aconite handles the initial onset of the disease, the initial fever, the initial storm to say, but spongia represents the dry peak, that middle stage where the cough is ringing and dry. We only transition to hypersulph once the mucus finally begins to rattle. Now you have to watch for these specific triggers. Cold drinks, dry vents, and notably eating sweet things will aggravate the throat and the cough. The key relief can be found in eating or drinking warm things, significantly improving the symptoms. These are warm things giving the relief. And then we have the midnight terror. The patient awakens in a sudden fright feeling as if they are suffocating till death because they are forced to breathe through literally a sponge. We also have to see for cardiovascular symptoms. Spongia also addresses cardiovascular storm. Look for violent palpitation and gasping respiration, often worsening after midnight or during the menstrual cycle. Anxiety here often leads directly to physical pathology. Here we can see the psychophysical nature playing important role in pathophysiology of a disease. Anxiety leading directly to physical pathology. Palpitations in the heart, angina pectoris, contracting pain, faintness, suffocation and sweating. Now this remedy is having profound affinity for thyroid gland. It is indicated for goiters where the glands are swollen, sometimes even with the chin having parotid glands, and it is hard to touch. This hardening mirrors the dry nature of the remedy. This is the doctrine of signature for this remedy. Now it also targets the reproductive glands. We use it when the testicles or spermatic cord feel swollen, bruised or squeezed, especially after suppressed infections. Here is the final diagnostic tip. Spongia is worst during inspiration or inward breathing. This distinguishes it from aconite, which is typically worse during expiration. So spongia is worse during inspiration and aconite is worse during expiration. In summary, you have to look for a fair-skinned patient with saw-like dry cough, midnight suffocation and relief from the warmth, and having glandular affections, induration of glands, namely thyroid and reproductive glands. In males, testis. So thank you for watching and joining this clinical review. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into Materia Medica. We will see you in the next lecture. Till then, keep learning and keep practicing.